Ahoy folks, and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zugs. So we are carrying on with our updated builds, and today we are looking at the Ogryn, because the Ogryn does not get enough love in this game, and in my opinion, it's one of the best classes to play. Very easy to get used to, but if you have enough time and effort put into it, the skill ceiling is massive. So let's have a look at what we're using. So we are starting off with the Battle Maul and Slab Shield. The modifiers are as such: damage, crowd control, cleave damage, and penetration. While at max, and defense is our dump stat. Perk-wise, we're going with Carapace and Flak. Flak being the most prevalent armor type in the game, and Carapace just so we can deal with those pesky crushers and maulers to some extent. Blessings, we're going with Skull Crusher. Target receives 4 stacks of plus 10% damage if already staggered, lasting 5 seconds. And Opportunist, plus 25% rending against staggered enemies. Then we're going for our ranged, which is the Rumbler. We're going with Blast Ammo Penetration, lol, and Blast Radius, and Mobility is our dump. Perk-wise, we're going with Carapace and Unyielding. This is going to help us lay down some ranged damage against monstrosities if we have to back away from them. Blessings wise, we're going with Adhesive Charge. Your grenades now stick to Ogryns and monstrosities, and plus 15% damage to them as well. Shrapnel, plus 4 bleed stacks from close range explosions. Now, we don't have to use the Rumbler, but I'll give you another option if you don't want to use it, but it is a good weapon, especially if you are basically disrupting the battlefield with it. So you can knock everything around, or you can lay down some nasty fire onto Ogryns and monstrosities. As you can see, it does do quite a bit of damage to them. I mean, not a huge amount of crushes, but Reapers and Bulwarks do tend to take quite a bit of damage from the Rumbler. And it is quite good at just being annoying if you have a big pile of them bearing down on you. But if the Rumbler is not your bag, you can always use something else. For example, you could use the Grenade Gauntlet as such. Maniac, Flak, Pinpoint and Target, and Glory Hunter. Or you could use the Kickback, which is basically the world's most accurate shotgun. Is that still... Oh, it is still bugs. I thought they'd fixed that months ago. Apparently they didn't. That is just a visual error. The modifiers don't go above this. Perk-wise, Unyielding and Flak, Full Bore and Blaze Away. They're all very good. Or, you know, the Ripper with Can Opener, Blaze Away, Maniac, Unyielding. You can basically use whatever range weapon you want. This build is not completely locked to the weapon types. Curios, we have got 2 toughness Curios. Is that correct? I think it is. I mean, if you could basically, if you want to take off the stamina regen, switch it out for damage resist gunners. If you're feeling a little bit squishy, switch it all to damage resist gunners, or keep it as it is here. With toughness, combat ability regeneration and stamina, combat ability regeneration and damage resistance gunners, and then combat ability regeneration and stamina. But like I said, if you're feeling a bit hard done by, switch over to damage resist instead of stamina. The reason I do that is just so lots of blocking, block push, and just basically be able to control everything that's going on. Right, that is the gear. Let's take a look at the talent. So we're going down the middle here. We're going for Heavyweight for 30% damage against Bulwarks, Crushers, Plague Ogres, and Reapers, and also receive plus 30% damage reduction against the same. Smash 'em, replenish 5% toughness after hitting a single enemy with a melee attack, increased to 15% toughness if it's a heavy attack. And then we've got Best Defense, replenish 5% toughness after hitting multiple enemies with a single melee attack, and increase to 15% if it is a heavy attack. So these two, basically single or multiple, you're getting toughness back. Then we're taking the Frag Bomb because I just find it funny, to be honest, but of course you can take any of the others if you want to. I just like the Frag Bomb. It's very good for just clearing things. It's basically your oh crap button. You drop that and just generally everything in the vicinity is going to die, even Crushers. I said and Crushers, there we go. Very good for clearing things out. Then we're going for Soften Them Up. Enemies damaged by your melee attacks take 10% more damage for 5 seconds. Focused Fighter, 4% damage resistance from melee attacks on a successful melee attack, stacking 5 times. Stacks are removed upon taking damage from a melee attack. Payback time, 15% damage for 5 seconds after a successful dodge or being hit by an attack into Strongman. 10% damage resistance on elite kill or specialist kill for 5 seconds. Then we're grabbing the toughness here, and then we're going to take Loyal Protector. Taunt enemies within a 12-meter radius, making them attack only you for 15 seconds. The effect repeats after 3 seconds and after 6. Then we're going to take in some tertiary abilities with No Pain. Loyal Protector on its repeats replenishes 10% toughness and an additional 0.5% each 1 second per enemy affected, up to 10% for 3 seconds. And Valuable Distraction. Enemies affected by Loyal Protector take 20% base damage from all sources. So basically you're allowing your team to just go absolutely ham on them. Again, this is really, really good for controlling the battlefield. Rending Boost into Bonebreaker's Aura, 10% melee attack damage for you and your allies in coherency, and we're getting beat them back. 15% damage on successful heavy melee attack for 5 seconds. Crunch up to 15% damage and bonus, and 30% impact bonus on to your charge melee attacks based on charge time. Sorry, I could just read that like an absolute idiot. Strike True, 10% melee weak spot strength, and Batter, inflict 1 stack of bleed on melee hit, increased to 4 stacks on heavy melee hit. Damage Boost into Delight and Destruction, 5% damage resistance per bleeding enemy in melee range, stacking 6 times. We're pairing this up with Batter, the old Ogryn combo 1-2 punch there, Batter and Delight and Destruction, and then onto the middle for some toughness, and then we're going into Attention Seeker, blocking or pushing enemies taunts them. Again, this is allowing you to control the battlefield and also keep your little ones safe. We're taking Bruiser, 100% ability cooldown regeneration for 3 seconds after you or an ally in coherency kill an enemy elite. And then Get Stuck In. On activating your combat ability, you and your allies in coherency gain a plus 20% movement speed and are also immune to stun and suppression. Back in the day when it was the Karnak twins hard mode fight, this thing would basically keep you alive during the transition phases. And it's still very good nowadays, especially on higher Havocs, when being able to move incredibly quickly away from things is very, very useful. No Hurting Friends, plus 2% strength on damage taken by you or allies in coherency, 5 max stacks, last 10 seconds, and 15% toughness damage reduction on max stacks. And then we've got our keystone, which is Feel No Pain. You are blessed to 10 stacks of Feel No Pain. Each stack grants 3% toughness replenishment and 3% damage reduction. Taking damage removes 1 stack. Stacks are restored every 2 seconds. And then we've got Pained Outburst. When Feel No Pain reaches 5 stacks or below, you push back enemies and replenish 50% toughness. It's just wildly useful. And then Toughest, Feel No Pain grants 2.5% toughness replenishment per stack. So you are basically a big pile of toughness regeneration, and you can pretty much stagger anything and control what's going on in the fight. The Ogryn is just... a lot of people don't like it. I mean, it has the least amount of weapons and customization compared to the other classes, but if you can learn to play the Ogryn well, you are going to be absolutely loved by your teammates. I mean, as long as you don't keep jumping in front of their shots, and a veteran's always going to be arsey with you. So, you're too big. He's like, yeah, well, I'm not Ogryn. What'd you expect? There you go, folks. That is the updated Protector Ogryn build for you. If you've enjoyed, please do like and subscribe. And stay tuned for more builds, which will be coming up. There'll be at least 1 or 2 for each class, updated for the newest update. So until the next one, take it easy. I shall see you later.